Good evening, everybody. Welcome to That's a Great Question podcast. I did a triple take there. Did the jazz hands, the golf clap, and the Queen's wave.
The Queen's wave. Triple threat, watch out.
A triple threat. Now, what's up, warrior?
Not a whole lot. I can complain about a lot of things, but no one's listening.
Nobody cares, bro.
Nobody gives a fuck. No, nobody gives a flying fuck. Is what happened.
Nobody does. It's pretty sad, but sad but true. Nobody cares. So I hope you enjoyed your Thursday walk. I'm just curious.
I do.
And I know a lot of people are curious about this. How is it actually interacting with human beings?
Well, it's because it's a smaller group. It's not a large group, but through the couple of years I've been doing this, I've slowly developed friendships.
Yeah.
It's a loose term right there, but I talk to people. I listen to what they're talking about. Most of the time, it's usually inside conversations about drama, this or whatever. But every once in a while, I'll get somebody who's willing to have a conversation, and usually those are usually at the bigger events. We have a tie-dye event coming up in the first weekend this month of October, and that brings in a lot of people from out of town.
Now, is this dog walking? Like you take your dogs?
No. This is called Hasher House Harriers. It's been a tradition since after World War II.
Oh, okay.
And it originally worked out to be is you have hares, which are rabbits, and they go lay a trail, and they leave little markers. Could be toilet paper, chalk, flour. We use flour and chalk, sidewalk chalk, stuff that can be washed away in the rain. And then and typically what happens is that the person gets a 10-minute head start, and then the rest of the people have to go after them. But our group, our kennel, we're called a kennel, and we don't really run. We call those people racist if they're runners. So yeah. I mean, we had like a black guy, and he was a hurdler, and he loved it. He loved to run, and so we called him a racist because he just liked to run. That was it. Play on words, and it's good to get away from this and then go out there to see what people are really like, to see how things are affecting them, and because they will talk amongst themselves, and so I hear what they're concerned about.
Right.
And but I tell you what, I this group here, you have a unique opportunity to meet people in transition, if that will. And I tell you what, I'm sure they're wonderful people. I'm sure they're beautiful, wonderful people. But they fucking freak me out, man. They are not natural. They get off this aura, this vibe that is just fucking weird. And I told my girlfriend that. I said, she goes, "So what do you think of blah blah blah?" And I was like, "You mean the girl who's trying to be a guy?" She's like, "Well, his name is Dada." I said, "Well, no. No matter how hard she tries, she'll never be me. She'll never be a man."
Yeah.
And I said, I don't want anything to do with that mental disorder. I want nothing. I said, I will not engage with the individual at all. But if the individual decides to engage with me, I will politely leave. I'll walk away from. Because she's been in the group a lot longer than I have, and I've developed. There's some good resources actually to amongst these people. We're talking about doctors, lawyers, real estate brokers, stuff like that. So people have got some information, right? Who've got some connections. It's so I don't want to burn those bridges down in one fell sit in that one sentence. Just like 5 words completely ruin everything. Yeah, go ask Roseanne Barr. Roseanne Barr precisely that. Well, I mean, I don't have a career in this anyway, so I don't give a fuck. But whatever, whatever, man. It's just, man, trans people are fucking weird. That's all I know.
That's true.
They
Well,
are
good.
just,
I'm glad you're
they smell
enjoying it.
different,
So
like
just to
cabbage.
let everybody know that Warrior won't be on the Thursday show.
Yeah.
Um the fuck is the name of that show? The Thursday Night Throwdown.
Yeah,
He won't be on Thursdays anymore. Because he'll be doing that.
Right, and if it's gonna be like a trail that I can't go on, if it's too difficult,
Yeah.
then I'll text you, let you know,
Yeah.
and
But
then
for the
I'll
most part,
yeah, we'll
yeah,
just
for
go
the
from
most
there.
part.
So
So we'll have people fill in. We have Mr. W from Q&A holes,
Yep.
or maybe the Texan, or I know Mr. Reverend Rant is supposed to be here tonight sometime. I know he's doing a show. He sent me a message. He's going to be late, but he should be here tonight. So enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. Mr. Spaz. Oh shit, he left. There you go.
Oh, I'm still here.
Spaz, how you doing, my brother?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good.
How's everything going with Dad?
Oh, yeah, he's itching to come home.
Oh, good.
He's looking great. He's bored out of his mind. He wants them to leave him the fuck alone so he can rest a bit, Always
Good.
coming in. Here, take this pill. Here, take this shot.
Yeah, it's not being in a hospital for any length of time is not a good way to rest. I'll tell you that right now. It's just not a good way to rest. You get poked and prodded every couple hours, and it pisses you off
Yeah, I think
a lot. So
he's not even in
anyway,
bed.
I'm glad to hear his surgery went very well. I had no doubts, of course, but I ask everybody to keep him in their prayers because that helps.
Mm-hmm.
It helps. So good. I'm glad. Anything you'd like to share before I say hello to the fam over on Build?
Well, see, I was working in somebody's house today, and I've been there a couple of days, and I've been talking to them. I see the little sign they got out front, and this morning when I walked in, he was like, "Well, I don't know what your political affiliation is," and I said, "I'm an insurrectionist."
Yeah.
And he knew right away.
Yeah.
And it sparked off some wonderful conversation.
That's cool. That's a good way to start a conversation to actually gauge how somebody would start if they're going to talk to you at all.
It's easier if you see what flag they have hanging out front is.
Yeah.
Unlike
exactly.
Warriors condition, we don't like that flag. That flag makes us uncomfortable.
Very true. Very, very true. All righty. Let's say hello to some people up in the chat. Warrior in the Garden. How you doing? Oh, oops. Not that. This. There you go. Par 5 is here. What's up, Par 5? Hello, Pam Day. Welcome. Jim Bob is here. Redfish. Welcome to you. Sherry Pittsburgh. How are you doing? Spaz is here. He's right there. Let's see. Vanita, thank you for the tip. Appreciate that. Who else is here? What else did I see up there? 33 Ohio. Hat tip to you. Mo Phillips, welcome. And I don't know who else. Oh, Disco Daphne. How can I miss Disco Daphne? Supermod extraordinaire. Love you. Thank you for being here. Everybody, GLP. Long time no see. How you doing? Everybody give Disco Daphne some love. Hey, Mez. Yeah, you like that shirt? This was actually Mez's idea. I sent him one. I'm not right so far right. Just right so far. Nice shirt. I love it. Just Josie is here. Welcome to you. And anybody else who's creeping in the background on DLive, YouTube, or X, welcome to you guys. On X, the platform has been growing steadily, little by little. And even though I haven't been live streaming a ton lately this last week, I'm getting sometimes 100 views per show, which is a lot for me on X. So you guys over there, I appreciate you. Keep it up. I have no plans to monetize or anything like that over on X. I just happen to post my Instagram stuff or TikTok videos and things like that. But thank you for being there. I appreciate it. Okay, so I have a couple of topics I want to talk about tonight. And I talked about this. We talked about, well, I didn't do a show today, so it was the show I did yesterday morning. One of the segments I did yesterday. I'm going to play a small clip. Hello, Zombie 5. I'm going to play a small clip. And then I want to have a conversation about familiarity. About what we're going to listen to right now, okay? So, hold on to your seats. Let's listen to this guy.
For the people of Lebanon. Israel's war is not with you. It's with Hezbollah. For too long, Hezbollah has been using you as human shields. It placed rockets in your living rooms and missiles in your garage. Those rockets and missiles are aimed directly at our cities, directly at our citizens. To defend our people against Hezbollah strikes, we must take out those weapons. Now, starting this morning, the IDF has warned you to get out of harm's way. I urge you, take this warning seriously. Don't let Hezbollah endanger your lives and the lives of your loved ones. Don't let Hezbollah endanger Lebanon. Please, get out of harm's way now. Once our operation is finished, you can come back safely to your homes.
Does that sound familiar?
Mm-hmm. Sure does.
Something like exactly what he said to the Palestinian people.
Oh my God.
Right, almost identically what he said to the Palestinian people.
Yes.
Right after October 7th. So, I don't like to say, especially after, the 2022 midterm, the 2022 midterms. I don't want to make predictions anymore, especially with Jim Bob in the chat. So, I'm going to make my intelligent observation, and then we'll discuss it with you. We'll start with you, Warrior. Go to Spaz. I said that we're going to go into combat before the presidential election. 43 days now. We have. Now the focus is not on Gaza or Rafah anymore. Well, because literally there's nothing else to blow up. Pretty much. Now they're going into another sovereign country. And although I there you go, Jimbo. I do understand that Hezbollah is firing rockets from there. Who's going to come to Lebanon's aid besides Iran? That's my question. And is it going to cost more lives than it did in Gaza? military and civilian. Because if you look at the numbers, and I don't care how you look at the numbers, you're looking at upwards that they can know of, that we know of. 60,000 civilians that were killed in Gaza. Talking about women, children, and men who are non-combatants. Now, I'm not stupid. I understand war. I do understand war. I am actually a student of history. I like to call myself that. I understand how wars are fought. I understand collateral damage. Warrior, tell me, how far do you think of an escalation in the next 43 days we're going to get into? We as the United States.
Well, let's see here. Well, we've already got troops in the Mediterranean Sea. We still have we have what do you call it? The two aircraft carriers there, and a battleship or two, three aircraft carriers. So
there's one on the way.
One on the way. So
you'll hear about it soon.
Here's what I see. When I heard that they were individually bombing, when Israel was individually bombing houses, I mean, they claimed that they showed a little diagram and the 3D model of the house and
I have that video.
Yeah, all that it has all that stuff, right? So here, 1 second here. I think I have.
Do you have it? Because I tried to download
I don't.
it.
I was checking to make sure my echo was on. Here's what I see. Israel keeps claiming militarily they're going to reclaim the greater Israel area, which includes all of Lebanon, part of Turkey, from the sea to the ocean,
the river to
the sea. That's what they mean. They want all of Palestine. They want everything down to the border of Egypt. They want everything over to the sea, so that includes Jordan as well. And they want part of Syria, most of Syria, and part of Turkey. This is exactly what they did in Gaza, because they needed something to justify them going in to fulfill the prophecy. These people we're talking about, all right, they listen to the rabbis that speak of us as being goyim. They speak of us as being like animals, all right. These rabbis influence Benjamin Netanyahu, the top heads of the military, and damn near all of the super PAC, not super PACs, but the lobbyists, all of them. Okay, so right here in America, yes, yeah. Right here in America, Israel so far is justified leveling Gaza because of that false attack, and we all know it was false. Israel even admitted it was false. Now they're doing the same thing. It worked so well the first time. Why not do it a second time, right? So now they're going to do it a second time by justifying their attack by, well, we have to go in and we're telling. See, Benjamin. This is great because Benjamin, he's broadcasting out there for people to leave so that they can go in and level everything, not just certain houses and do this. They're going to fucking level everything, people. They're going to carpet bomb the entire. In Lebanon, yes, they're gonna level fucking everything. All right, all their old and sister territory, they're gonna retake all of that. They have to, in order for the third temple to be built. They have to regain that first. All right, this is part of their plan. This is part of their prophecy, people. These individuals are and they're ahead of all industries. They all believe this. They have to in order to do so. In order to be presidents, you still have to you have to believe this stuff. Yeah. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys. Is what Salty's trying to tell you too as well. Is that these people, they don't think normally like you and I. Okay, they are fanatics in what they believe, and they will do anything to religiously, and politically, and economically, and militaristically and philosophically to fulfill the set prophecy that they keep writing for themselves.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, though. Now, this is why I always say you have to keep an eye on foreign news,
Of course.
not just American news, because in Israel itself, most people are protesting this. They are not for this. There are tens of thousands of people that are protesting this government, Benjamin Netanyahu's government,
Yes.
that are not for this.
Uh-huh.
And we're talking Israeli Jews, Israeli Arabs, Israeli Christians. Okay, we also have to remember Israel is a country. It's not, Judaism is not a race. It's a religion. So these people are Israelis. And their different religions, no matter what they are coalescing with each other and saying, this doesn't need to happen. Unlike here in the United States, where these monkeys do what they're told. Go out and protest here, protest here. Here's some money, here's a sign. So, my question is, and I'll give Spaz a chance to speak on this. My question is, what do you think, or I'm sorry, how do you think it's going to affect the internal politics of the United States, knowing that Kamala Harris is against Israel? Basically, I mean, she's actually come out and said it several occasions. And or Donald Trump comes out and says, just get it the fuck over with. What do you think, Spaz?
First thing I thought was that video was like AI, because it sounded super well rehearsed. When was the last time I heard Netanyahu talk that well? He just rambled on down through that thing like
it was nothing.
Like it was he was roller skating at the park. Anyway, that was my first thought. But raising whole cities, especially flee, run away, right? And then everybody's supposed to run away just so they can level the city. To me, that seems like the old way, because I mean, they leveled the whole city over in Hawaii, with just a little fire. Well, I guess there's nothing to burn. That's why it's got to be blown up.
Mm-hmm. But
yeah, that's like crazy. I don't know, what to think about, because I can't wrap my head around, what I'm just, I can wrap my head around, having a good life for a good cause. I can wrap my head around that, but okay. I can't really think that down. I mean, what the fuck is the point? You dropping missiles on people's houses? What is the point? I mean, is it government anymore? Is it government anymore?
I don't know.
Maybe it's gangs. I mean, I see gangs would, bust into a place, drop bombs, shoot people. Yeah, I see gangs doing that. Man, what the hell? It's crazy. And didn't Joe send more troops?
Yeah.
He got more troops to send over there. So that's like a little more pawns on the chessboard that can get blown up and taken away.
Well, advisors, right? If anybody remembers Vietnam back in the day, we weren't sending, in 1962, 61, 62, we weren't sending troops to Vietnam. We were sending advisors as a troop buildup. Because if we, as the United States, sent troops that means that we were actively engaging in combat. And we weren't doing that so much back then. It wasn't until, yeah, you got to use these quotations when you got to use them. But it wasn't until after the Kennedy assassination that Johnson put in hundreds of thousands of American troops after 1964 to do what they did in Vietnam. So what I'm thinking, Warrior, are we going to be looking at another Afghanistan for the next 20 years?
I just keep thinking about the Syrian refugees and how wide scattered they were. If you're
How widespread they are now, and they haven't even done anything yet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, most of Syria is empty. Most of Syria got dumped into Europe. But I don't know. I see this thing and I'm thinking, well, this looks very similar to what happened on October 7. This is pretty much their MO. They're trying to fulfill a prophecy, but I think it's going to be, because here's the thing: is that they have to Israel in general. Okay, I'm not, the people, whatever. I'm just saying as an entity of direction here. Okay, to move the conversation forward.
Mm-hmm.
Israel has made Trump to be this. They call him Moshiach. They call him the Messiah. They put him on the same coin as King Cyrus. King Cyrus helped liberate them from their enemies, the Roman Empire. Well, their new Roman Empire is considered Edom, the West, which can be people. It could be Germany, it could be Russia, it could be the United States, but more specifically, is the United States. Now, when we are talking about what this war is, if this looming war that people keep talking about, keep fear mongering about, I still stick to the fact that it's going to happen when Trump is president, because he has to be a liberator. He has to be a peace bringer to the Israeli people, to the state of Israel, not the country.
How does he do that?
By like I said, by offering a peace deal. He's like, I'm the greatest deal maker in the world. I can do it. It's gonna be beautiful. The peace deal is gonna be beautiful. All he has to do is bring up the Abrahamic war, Abrahamic Accords again. Yeah, and it's already written. Thanks to Jared Kushner, but that shit's already written. So, that's what I see. That's how I see it working out behind the scenes, and then everything else leading up to that is just going to be prep, because they're not going to stop there. They're going to go into Jordan. They're going to say, "Well, Hezbollah moved from Lebanon to Jordan, so we need to go to Jordan and kick their asses."
See, that's what I'm thinking. And Jim Bob actually put a whole bunch of countries. We're talking Iraq, Turkey, Jordan, Egypt, Syria, Lebanon. I mean, these are countries that have a lot of people.
Yeah.
To levy war against Israel. So that's why I kind of mentioned, are we, as the United States, being, it's even bad to say this, but the truth is the truth, the perpetuator of constant war for profit.
Sure. That's part of, we're the military arm of the military industrial complex.
Exactly.
That's what we do. We go around and we disturb we fuck people's country up. We invade countries. That's what America's brand at chief export is right there. Is invading other people's countries.
Why is that not evident to however many people who are, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying I don't support Israel defending itself, because I do. Everybody has a right to defend themselves. But when you see what they're doing, what the level they're doing it at, the verbiage that they're using to justify it, and the means that they're using, mainly the United States, how can you not throw in everything that you guys were just talking about? The prophecy, the
That's because they're pushing it forward. That's
you know,
why.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the people who are in charge, they believe in this prophecy. The people who are calling the shot callers, if you will, they believe in this prophecy. They believe in the red heifer prophecy. Okay, they believe that they have to bring Armageddon to fruition in order for their Messiah to come back.
Now,
That's
basically,
that's what they believe, and
that's the same
they
thing as the Muslims.
no,
Well,
not necessarily.
ISIS wanted to start the end of the war um, in some place in Iraq. Um, somebody will tell me. Starts with a D. Um, gosh, shit.
Damascus?
Not Damascus.
No.
Um, anyway, to bring about the final battle. It's in the Quran. It says the final battle is supposed to start in this city, which I can't remember because my friggin' brain is fogged up. But it's kind of like having a biblical war, right? The Fifth Crusade, per se. That you're throwing a country that's only 250 years old in the middle of it because we're a superpower in a 3,000, 4,000 year old war before Islam was created. Basically, before Christianity was created. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying there.
Those prophecies that you're talking about go way beyond Christianity or Islam itself,
Well, I know that.
right? So,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
my problem
Go ahead.
is, and Spaz, please interrupt me anytime.
I'm absorbing this all I can, man.
Is the United States is simply in it for cash.
No.
I can't see any other way we as a country are being benefited by this at all.
No, we're not. We're not being benefited by this at all. We are beholden to Israel because Israel literally has our country by the balls, and I wish more people would understand that. These people that are like I said, that are making these calls. Okay, they believe in this very particular prophecy, and they've written their holy books in order to fulfill that. And it's a very harsh reality. But those individuals are at the head of massive banks, pharmaceutical industries, entertainment, music, football, sports in general, and that's one thing where it's easy to recognize. Okay, people can easily go, okay, yeah, it's just true. You have a lot of Jews that are on top of the. This isn't Jew hating. This is reality. Okay, that they are a large majority of the top of the pyramid for some reason, and they always have been. But when it comes to this, and when it comes to Israel, the United States is absolutely beholden to Israel. They have us by literally the short hairs or the coin purse or whatever it is. I mean, coin purse is a double entendre. You can use it both ways.
That yeah.
But you know what I'm saying. But it's a reality that we have to come to terms with. And
But why? How is it? How is it? And this is where sometimes I have a hard time wrapping my head around shit because I think logically, and that's a fault, apparently.
yeah. How dare you? How
How
dare you,
dare I?
sir? Shame.
I know. I'm a bad man. The way that I think about this is, how can we be beholden to this little people's
People are
United
greedy.
States of America?
People are greedy. Our politicians, our quote unquote elected officials, can be bought out
Dual citizenship.
like that. You know, we allow dual citizenship. You know, the car industry and the manufacturing industry has allowed the labor unions to get in there and really fuck things up for a lot of people. They take more money than they actually and they do more harm than they do good. And it's the same way with our government. It's the same mentality as a labor union as our United States. We're here to help you. Okay, how are you fucking helping me? Don't worry, it's in the mail. Okay, what's in the mail? It's in the mail. Don't worry, just it's in the mail. Trust me. So I'm thinking, okay, well, if they're still if it's run like an industry like that, then it's going to be corrupt automatically, and it's easy to corrupt people by how? By paying them off, or by what? Blackmailing them. Same thing that was on Jeffrey Epstein. You know, blackmail. You know, same with P Diddy, blackmail.
Well, we're going to be talking about that later on.
That's the oldest thing in the book right there is blackmail. Blackmail, prostitution, and husbandry of animals. The three oldest trades in humankind. So it's not hard to see that these, if you're able to, not purchase debt, but if you're able to manipulate individuals, certain people, because you don't need to manipulate everybody. And here's the thing: is that at first it was just a few. And then eventually, through filtration over the years, you had more and more. You had APAC come up, then you had ZOA, and you have these other organizations, these other NGOs that have a shit ton of money. That apparently $20,000 goes a long ways for politicians. 20 grand. That's not my. Those aren't my words. Those are somebody's words who's been associated with paying these people off and corrupting certain individuals. So that's the Jews have never been they've never been militarily strong, and as a group as in general as a group of people. You can go back all the way to Hebrews or Canaanites or whatever phrase you want to use for them. Okay, and there's a reason for that. But so what they use the tactics of infiltration and subjugation and manipulation of currency and manipulation of people's thoughts and political prowess and everything else. They've been doing this for thousands of years, literally thousands of years. And the Muslims, they learned the same trick from them, and they did the same thing. They had about 300-400 years of doing the exact same thing, and which is a result in the four or the three Christian crusades that we had because of their advancement of Muslims across the quote unquote Christian realm.
Smokey Randy brought up a good point, which is very rare and very few and far between. But he said the House of Saud or Saud isn't Jewish, and their money and influence control a shitload of politicians. Smokey Randy, I cannot disagree with you on that. But what does Saudi Arabia, the House of Saud, what do they have that America needs? What would they have to influence American politicians besides cash? what policies on like what we can do for the Jewish people. I shouldn't say the Jewish people. We can do for Israel.
Well,
Can we influence?
with the money comes the power, apparently, to fling fucking missiles and destroy buildings and houses where people live.
Yeah, but
That could be influential.
is Saudi Arabia supplying weapons to whom? Who does Saudi Arabia, being monetarily influential, help support? They can't stand Iran, and they can't stand Israel.
Who's they?
Saudi, the crown prince,
Saudi Arabia.
Oh, yeah.
the family.
Okay. But I'm just
Okay.
saying, another
Yeah.
crown prince could be just like, what the hell, the Godfather, Gandalf.
Well, maybe not.
whatever his name.
Maybe not. What's his name? The salami
Mob or
guy,
something.
the new guy.
Salami guy.
What's his name?
I don't know.
Yeah, that guy.
That guy.
His father, his grandfather, have no love loss for Israel. So I don't see them supporting Israel at all. And that goes back decades with that well, more than that with that family. So, and of course, the House of Saudi and the Iranians are two different sects of Islam that can't stand each other, Sunni and Shiite. So, although Randy was a great question, like I said, which is kind of few and far between, but I personally can't see the benefit of Saudi Arabia sticking their nose into any of this shit. So, I mean, if you got an idea, let me know, Spaz.
I don't know. It's like all this fighting going on. It's like a Simon Says going off. Bombs over here, bombs over there, bombs over here, bombs over there. You're all trying to figure out, what's going on. I don't. To me, it sounds like the only thing that's going on over there is like a mercenaries fucking playground. And then you got these families that apparently are just getting in the way. It's just people spending money trying to kill each other. It's who gives a shit what you believe? I mean, isn't that essentially what you're doing? I mean, who are you really killing? And then when the news gets on it, it's never really a good thing to kill people anyway. Now they're showing the people that got in the way. I don't know. Maybe who do they really know who they're shooting at?
I don't think so.
It just could be anything. Now, I've seen videos where they drive around over there and just shoot people in the car next to them. It seems like a wonderland of murder and mayhem, and we just keep dumping money into it, and the bodies stack up. I'm sorry, I can't. I don't think I can see it the way you guys put the puzzle together. I mean,
oh, you're doing good.
I'm more like
Keep speaking.
I see these pieces coming together, and it's just to me it looks like that Scott Lebedo photo of Kamala Harris. Was it We Did It, Joe? I think it was called.
Oh yeah. I happen to agree with that. That I don't think there's a purpose behind the killing. I think the killing is what
religion.
It is.
This guy's like fanatical religion. I mean,
yeah. And that's something that you hate to admit, that in this day and age, we're not fighting a war for freedom and democracy and blah, 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 blah. We're basically arming a bunch of people with state-of-the-art weapons to kill each other over prophecies from thousands of years ago. I mean, can I make it any simpler?
Some of these guys got nukes, don't they?
Well, Israel has nukes.
Did we see one the other day?
They said no.
I mean, they said no, but
Yeah, they said no. But it was a rather large explosion. They said that it was equivalent to one of our Moabs, which is about 10,000 pounds of TNT, our massive air ordnance burst, or the mother of all bombs, our biggest non-nuclear weapon.
I watched the video a couple times, and if you listen really closely, you can hear the ground tremble before the airburst.
Shock, yeah.
And I thought that was very interesting. And then did you see the red cloud afterwards?
Yeah.
I mean,
it wasn't small. Let's put it that way.
What was
It
up with
not
that?
small.
Then what did they hit?
Apparently, and like I said, you can only take this from what they tell us. It was a weapons stash in a civilian neighborhood.
The schoolhouse, right?
I don't know if it was a schoolhouse or what it was, but it was a weapon stash with cruise missiles in a civilian neighborhood. So I don't know if they're going to use that kind of ordnance in Syria. Don't expect Syria to have anything left in the future, like next week. So
if they level this land, like they want to regain it back, whatever with this Red Bull calf, blah 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 blah. But what's their plan to do with the land? Is that then they just plop down a temple and start being bulls that are bred or something?
Well, Warrior, I'm going to let you answer this.
I'm not an expert, but at that point,
No, speaking on the third temple.
yeah, I said I'm not an expert, but
Right.
that would usher in their traditional Holy Land. Then at that point, they can reestablish Jerusalem as the center of the world, and then have land to rebuild the third temple. And then from there, there's some other things that have to occur beforehand, but essentially at that point, you're talking about Jesus coming back and killing 2/3 of everything that's on this earth. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems a little death culty to me, but
just a little.
It's just a little bit. Yeah, they're willing to. I mean, you're talking about. Think about all the world and the history, all the things that have occurred in history. All the wars, all the conflicts, everything else like that. You have to wonder if the same group of people have been behind it the entire time.
Well,
and trying to fulfill this prophecy.
I think there's no question about that anymore. As far as who's behind this, because for them, it's not about religion.
No. For the vast majority of them, it's not about it because they subvert God in so many different ways. It's ridiculous. They make a mockery of worshiping, the Creator. So they do. They do. They believe that a little piece of cloth on the top of your head will stop your thoughts from reaching God, or God from reading your thoughts.
Right.
I'm sorry, but if that's supposed to be an entire nation of a priesthood, and that's what they think, I want nothing to do with it.
I agree.
I want nothing to do
Yeah.
with it.
No,
So
you see, this is, and I know Salty's in my chat, and I have no problem with Salty in my chat, but I understand where he's coming from. I understand where you are coming from, Warrior, and I understand the whole. Maybe I understand it too much, which is not a good thing sometimes. But people have to sometimes have things like me broken down into little pieces in order to put that puzzle together. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, you make it's how do you the same method of how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time?
And I think
You know,
having conversations like this help, because now somebody can say, you know what, let me step back for a minute and just take a look at what's going on. Forget about all that technical stuff, the Talmud and the prophecies and the this and the that. And let's look at, say, this one aspect, the religious aspect, the military aspect, the land aspect, and break it down into those pieces. And I think that's more advantageous than having so much information where it sounds like if you don't believe this, there's something wrong with you. You know what I mean?
well, yeah, I've talked with Salty too before, and everybody um, everybody comes to the conclusion or the precipice, if you will,
There's
at
Salty's crazy.
different times, right? They do, because when I first heard this whole narrative, this whole thought process here about a year and a half ago, I thought it was crazy. I thought, what the this is a conspiracy right here if I've ever heard one, right? And no, then
No.
the reality, no, it's not. No, it's not. But reality is I don't think I was mentally mature enough to understand the concept.
Right.
And mental maturity doesn't mean that, oh, I was like you, like I was 18 years old, had a kid, all of a sudden I got to take care of a kid and a girlfriend, whatever. That's not, no. Mental maturity is ability
Wife.
to understand a wife. Sorry, well, yeah, yeah, well, you know what I mean. Yeah, you had a family, right? You had a family and working and all that kind of stuff, right? So that's not what I'm talking about. Mental maturity is the ability to hold difficult ideas in your head and then to break them apart and digest them and come to your own conclusions, do your own research about things, and then come to your own conclusion about it, about whatever it is the topic may be at hand. But also understanding that it's a journey. So if something pisses you off at first, it's probably a good thing. You should probably investigate why it pisses you off,
Sure.
and then go from there. And you might end up finding some truth somewhere along the journey, because even Pete's older than I am. I'll be 44 next month, and I'm still learning as I go along. I'm
You
still
never stop.
right. Still, I'm still redefining, what I think the truth is, and because I find new bits of information, then I have to think on it. I have to meditate, and like, how does it conflict with other things that I've said before, and is it real or not? You have to let it, the 72-hour thing. You have to let it marinate before you go into it again. So it's a process that people have to go through, but no one forces anybody to go through this process. But I encourage people to do this for themselves, and it isn't it isn't like, oh, and I hear this excuse a lot. Oh, well, it's just so complicated and convoluted. I can't understand it. Well, that's because you're trying to dive head first in the shallow end, and
That's what I'm saying.
you gotta put your feet in the water, splash them around a little bit, maybe go walk in
Yes.
the kiddie pool, and that's okay. The thing is too is that that's okay. That's okay. All right. And people who have been or further along in the thinking process who are now swimming in the deep end, that doesn't seem to have a bottom. We're in the deep end, and we can look back and go, oh, hey, I remember when I used to be in the kiddie pool. Hey, why don't you guys come over here? It's okay. I'll help you swim. I got some floaties. All right, don't worry about it. You're gonna be fine. Okay. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. Or a different analogy is that I've gone out of Plato's cave, and I turn around and I'm like, man, it's so much better and nicer out here than in the cave. Let's see if I can help some other people. So I go back into the cave, I reinsert myself into the matrix, if you will, and I try and go in and say, hey, listen, you may want to watch this, you may want to look at this. This is a very important message right here. And I'm not doing this for my health. Otherwise, I'd be fucking Superman. I'd be flying everywhere if I was saying this shit for my health.
Oh yeah, exactly.
But it's a journey that people have to decide to take, and they have to decide they're going to have to make a decision very, very early in the journey that they're going to follow the information no matter where it goes. You can't go down these rabbit holes and have feelings about certain things. You have to drop all that shit at the door before you do anything.
And some people, unfortunately, they can't do that.
And you know what? I'm not going to fault you for that. But I encourage people to keep digging for the truth. Okay, I encourage people to turn the news off. I encourage people to stop the when you go to bed scrolling through Facebook or whatever it is for an hour before you go to bed. Stop doing that stuff. All right. If you need to look at yourself, look at your life, and find what you're spending a lot of your time in, but you're not getting a whole lot out. Like you're not learning a trade, you're not, a craft, doing arts and crafts, something like that. Chances are you're probably, and if you're doing that activity a lot, chances are you probably need to stop that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I noticed that me when I was watching the news. I was constantly in the news. And I said, I need to step away. And once I stepped away, I had a completely different perspective on everything.
Exactly.
And it has allowed me to go down these difficult rabbit holes of trying to figure out who's in charge of the systems of control. Who are these people, these entities, or these people who claim to be certain individuals, or whatever the case may be. But whoever is in charge has a boss, and they have a boss. Okay. I keep the image that keeps popping in my head is one of, you have all these fat cats and they're playing Monopoly on the board, and underneath it is a bunch of people bent over.
Yeah.
All we have to do is just stand the fuck up. That's it. And just say, no, we ain't playing your game anymore. Because I'm just sick and tired of putting my flesh into their game.
Yeah.
I would much rather put my flesh in the game that I'm playing. Put something into it, get something out of it. Their game, you put yourself into it, they'll grind you up and fucking spit you out. That's what the system is. That's what their system is designed to do. Yeah. On every aspect of things. Unless you are willing to compromise your principles and sacrifice certain things and become a prostitute at certain levels, then you're not going to make it in the game. You're not going to be part of their club. Everybody who's a billionaire has done that. Everybody. You don't just become a billionaire for hard work and getting around taxes and stuff like that. No. You're a billionaire. You're paying a price because that club has a price to pay in order to be in that club.
Exactly.
And it comes. It's steep. Sorry.
Just to add on to what you said earlier about a constant evolution of learning, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many times have we done shows on Tartaria, the mud floods?
We've done a few of those shows.
We've done a few shows on that.
Yeah, the crazy topics, yeah.
I watched this podcast yesterday for 2.5 hours on Tartaria because there was one piece of information I don't remember learning about. So I watched 2.5 hours, or listened actually, to 2.5 hours of a podcast on Tartaria because I wanted to learn if there was something else maybe that I missed.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
There's all kinds of topics like that that I have to put on the back burner, and that I have. I mean, I literally have. I probably have 20 things I need to look into still. But
Exactly.
you know,
And
you
those
can
are
only do
things
so much.
that you can only do so much. Yesterday after my show, I had no voice left. I wasn't feeling the greatest. I was very nauseous, and I was just laying down, and I started listening, and I learned a little bit. I learned a little bit more. And then if I watched news, I listened, learned a little bit more, learned a little bit more. Um, that's just how things work out. But don't try to digest these topics in one big gulp, because
I certainly
you,
couldn't.
you get nothing but what we call in Italian agita, which is massive heartburn.
Yeah, no, I couldn't. This journey that I've taken is not a. I learned everything, as a download, like the Matrix, where I can learn kung fu. No, it's nothing like that. Or hey, I need to learn how to fly a helicopter. No, it's not a download like that, people. It's a learning process, because there is so much uh, brainwashing and bamboozlement that has gone on our entire lives, that we have to unlearn all that stuff first. We have to we have to detox from all of that bullshit first, before we know that we know nothing. And then Buddha even speaks of becoming an empty vessel. Well, I think he was also referring to becoming an empty vessel by getting rid of all the worldly shit that you've been taught your entire life, only to understand that we know nothing. And then at that point, you can go and start to learn, start to know and understand things. It's not, and your belief. You no longer use the word "I believe this is true." You know this is true.
You know it's true.
I understand. From my understanding, this is true. From my research, this is true. It's not well, I believe this to be right. Well, within a belief, there also is a lie.
Yes.
And people, but they've heard that phrase before too. But it's true.
Very true.
And I know the journey that I decided, the path I decided to go down is not a very popular one. I know
It's
that.
not.
But it is exactly where I told myself that I would be and I would do, because of my principles. And I will follow the truth no matter where it goes, and no matter what it looks like. And
I believe I can say this pretty much with confidence for you and Spaz, and maybe even Salty too, that you guys aren't against the religion of Judaism. You're against the principles that pollute it.
well,
Just like
there's
you'd be
aspects.
against the principles that pollute Christianity or Buddhism or Hinduism or Islam or whatever.
Yeah, maybe at one time Hebrew was a very beautiful religion to be part
Right.
of. Maybe it was, but we know this throughout history, that everything that has been once been pure and beautiful, and had even
It's gone.
the whole notion of Black Lives Matter. It was a whole ploy of we need to stop all this black on black crime in the inner cities, and then look what happened to it. It got taken over by 4 lesbian communists.
Yeah.
And then it turned into a money laundering organization, and it's done nothing for the black community. I mean, it happens over and over and over and over and over again, people. There's nothing new. The whole phrase, "there's nothing new under the sun." There isn't anything new under the sun.
No.
Okay, all the tricks have been played. We're just now at this point in the game just figuring this shit out. All right, this stuff has been done over and over and over again. We're just now figuring it out, because we have a massive amount of information at our fingertips, and we're able to just use discernment and figure out what the truth is. We're able to put these on blast on social media areas and share this information out. That's one of the things that has stopped the noticing, if you will, or allowed this entire system to perpetuate for so long, is because there wasn't the amount of distributable information as there is now. I mean, I can reach 600 people like that if I put out a tweet. Boom, done. 600 people know about it immediately. And same with Pete. Pete can put out, boom, 10,000 people know about it, what he's doing, right? And how long did it take 10,000 people to get a hold of a book, or to get a hold of a camera? How long did it take for the camera to distribute across the Flirth over here?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, so it took a while for things to get going, but once they did, the ability for these entities or this group of people to cover things up and to perpetuate the lie has gotten that time frame, and that ability has gotten shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter, and the money has gone down for production value. Same thing I said 2 years ago. It's the exact same thing I'm saying today. People, all right? It's not. I'm not. This is 100% correct. So I encourage people to push themselves beyond what they feel comfortable in knowing or understanding, but also understand that you can just take a bite out of it. You don't have to dive headfirst into the hole. Go down the rabbit hole all the way to the bottom of the rabbit hole. Stick your toes in there, stick your feet in there, go up to the ankles, go up to your knees, and then then paddle, and then paddle around a little bit, see how the water is, and then start diving.
Go out and tell people you're an insurrectionist, and see what they say.
Yeah, sure. Say I'm an insurrectionist. Right? Yeah. It's true though. I mean, technically by current law, about me talking about Jewish crimes, I'm a criminal. Yeah, I can go to federal prison for 25 years or the rest of my life.
Basically. All right, Spaz. Anything else to add to this topic before we move on to the next one?
No, we can sweep the leg.
Okay.
I think we beat that dog. Skin that cat, right?
Skinned it, exactly. So before we move on, let me say hello to Cindy Duff over there on YouTube. Hi, Cindy. And everybody who came in on the build. I didn't see Stacks was here. Albus, welcome. Andy, B2, welcome to you. And Jason, anybody else that I missed? Boonslayer, welcome. Thank you guys for all the pills. Appreciate that. They are greatly appreciated. Now, the next topic I want to bring up, because just before the show started, I got a notification about a certain celebrity that was just outed by Sean Combs. So the whole P. Diddy thing, actually 2 celebrities, I should say. I think P. Diddy is going to cause a lot of problems here. Not for us, but for the Hollywood elite. And I'll use that word in quotations. So, just before the show started, that notification said that he talked about one person who was in attendance to many parties, that he's being accused of being sex trafficking girls and stuff like that. And my daughter was sitting in the studio with me, and I said, guess who it is? And she's like, I don't know. Who could it be? And she was bringing up people from the past, rappers and this, that, and the other thing. And it just so happened to be Leonardo DiCaprio. Leonardo DiCaprio.
You mean the guy that Ricky Gervais joked about? By the time he's ready to leave, his girlfriend will be too old for him.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's basically everyone that the camera was put on during his speech is in that circle.
Yes.
Yep. Who
And-
go to the after parties, if you will.
And the second one, and then I'm going to shut up, let you guys speak on this for a minute because my throat's starting to hurt already. But the second one, who actually owns owns 4 restaurants and closed those 4 restaurants 4 days before P. Diddy was arrested on all of these charges. Kevin Hart was also implicated in these black and white parties that P. Diddy had in his mansion, where he's accused of sex trafficking young girls and boys and everything else. So,
Who did Kevin Hart used to hang out with?
oh, you name it.
P. Diddy.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Yes.
Wasn't he on SNL talking about a sexually molesting robot? Or
Yes.
I think he was on another video about you're too old to eat. I only eat kids under 10.
Well, would you see his oldest child?
No, I don't try to pay attention.
If you go around and you look at all the quote unquote celebrities and they have kids, and you look at their oldest child, and if not, or if they have young boys, like some of them actually who have 3 boys, which is weird. Well, it's not weird to have 3 boys, but it's weird that they all 3 go trans. That's weird.
Yeah. Who is that?
Megan Fox. That's one of them.
Oh,
Yeah, that's one of them. I just remember. I remember the days when it was weird. We heard something on TMC or something like that said, "Oh my gosh, Gwyneth Paltrow, she just named her child Apple. Can you believe that? Someone's making a candle with their vagina. Can you believe that? Oh my gosh." Now it's that's a nice kid. Oh no, he's a cat. No, he's a cat. What? No, it looks like a little child. No. Self-identifies as a kitty cat. Oh, okay. Is that why he's taking his pants off and pooping on the sidewalk? Okay, got it. Gotcha. That's kind of what it feels like. It's like we went from okay, we're just gonna test the waters here to now we're skiing behind an aircraft carrier. I don't understand it. It's a very slippery slope, people.
if I run over a cat, I don't go to jail, right?
No.
If it's a kid who says he's a cat, actually, I don't know how that works.
How does that work?
I don't know.
It's like the trans people. They just weird me out. Like I said, I'm sure they're beautiful, wonderful people, but no,
Yeah,
I gotta draw a line someplace. I gotta draw a
I
line.
don't know.
Remember that UFC fighter talking about 11 fucking years ago? This shit was a mental illness.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, P Diddy. I think P Diddy coming out when this whole thing coming out right now. I think this is a I can't help it but think this is a distraction against to keep people away from digging into certain things. I do, and and if it isn't, hey, it's fine. But he's P Diddy's in jail right now. It's like his whole thing. P Diddy. It's like, why don't you say what you really want to say? I'm diddling kids. Just put like kid diddler or something. Don't just go pedophile Diddy. I just that's what I think of when I hear P Diddy now. I'm thinking of that. But the thing is that if you think about it, how many of those superstars, the Hollywood movies, how many of them actually traffic people? Going into international waters or saying, "Hey, do you want to come up to to Vegas with me for the weekend or whatever. How many times have they trafficked human people?
Or like when they go to these Devos and WHO meetings, and then the hotel next to them is filled with prostitutes that come over.
Yeah, that's my favorite. Yeah.
So it's like,
it's not make it obvious or anything. There's a tunnel connecting the two buildings. Yeah, it's because you see the hookers go in one building and they come out the back door of the other one. You know, it's like, how did that happen?
I'm sure somebody sees the kids too.
But anyways, Sean P. Diddy Combs is his real name. Yeah, Sean Combs. Thank you, Sean Joe. Yeah, I think he has a lot of potential because I've seen a lot of photos with him with a lot of people at a lot of parties, and you see the same people show up at the parties a lot of times. So you have to ask questions. You know, he's right there. He's been involved with those Maria Abramovich spear cooking parties. You know, that's where she gets her white party inspiration from. She got it from him. P. Diddy was doing it first, and so this could go real deep. But this current, the thing is that
how deep?
P. Diddy, it can go deep because if he's convicted of trafficking in New York, if he's convicted of a gun crime or tax evasion, he's fucked. Because those are big crimes in the state of New York. Now, if he is convicted of prostitution or something like that, he may, I don't know. But I found it very interesting that he couldn't make bail, but the second guy who shot at Trump could get bail. I found that kind of interesting. But it's kind of an oxymoron, right? Shouldn't it be the other way around? Where
I think so.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe P. Diddy is again, I'm not 100% familiar with the case, and most likely he would be a if all these rumors are true and all the human trafficking and 1,000 bottles of lube and everything else, if all that stuff is true, which certainly seems to be that way because there's a lot of rappers and a lot of other people who are collaborating with the story. This goes to the Obamas. I mean, this goes to the Clintons. This goes to Trump. This goes to Beyonce, and then Jay-Z. He has his old racketeering thing. So did R. Kelly have the whole racketeering thing about kids underage. So this isn't, to me, this isn't anything new. It's just I'm surprised it's taken this long to come. Like, we can thank Cat Williams. Yeah, Cat Williams for coming out and saying that, that P. Diddy was a faggot and stuff like that, and then you have 50 Cent who confirms that. I saw something. I don't know. This is a rumor, of course, but I saw something where LeBron James took $100 million to sleep with P. Diddy one night. I mean, you hear these stories. And you're thinking, man, I thought he was just a rapper. No, how do you think rappers make it so big in the music industry? They extort, they steal, they rape, and anybody in the music industry in general is what they do. They don't just. You think this happens just in rap? This doesn't happen just in rap. This happens in country. It happens in rock. It happens in maybe not to the scale it does, but it certainly does happen.
Rent payments.
Exactly. Marilyn Manson a few years ago was charged with human trafficking across California state lines with a minor. And so I mean it goes on and on and on and on. You've had rock and roll people being accused of rape and all kinds of nasty stuff, right? But it just seems to happen a lot more within the rapping community of this human trafficking thing, and I don't understand why it's so concentrated on this particular industry, or maybe there's a spotlight is just put on this industry right now, and maybe it actually is just as rampant in all industries around. I mean, it's possible.
What about what's up, Spaz?
Howdy. Oh no, the Smokey Randy said.
Oh, Smokey Randy, would you bite the pillow for $100 million? I bet you would, you fag.
What stuff?
No. There's no.
Well, look,
No.
I let a guy, check my prostate, At
Medical is different.
least,
Yeah,
well,
that's different.
yeah,
He's
look,
not
I ain't never had anything up there before, so I
You
hope
know-
it was his finger. I
That's
don't
what
know.
I'm saying.
And then you
I
realize
didn't
he
turn
had
and
both his hands on your shoulders, right?
I didn't turn and look. I was just trying to hum a tune, get my pants back on.
Yeah. What do you think, Spaz? What do you think of this whole P Diddy thing? Or
Well,
is just another Jeffrey Epstein, which will nothing will ever come to it. He'll kill himself by accident or whatever, or get murdered in the showers or something.
I thought Diddy was about the drugs too. Remember that guy that shut up the Trump hotel, and he came out and confessed all this stuff about being P Diddy's and his girl's sex partner,
Mm-mm.
and then how they were trafficking money. I mean, no drugs on their private jets, and yeah, you didn't hear that? Come on, he was confessing in it.
Well, it does make sense because they can pretty much go anywhere if they have a private jet. You can go and you can land at the airport. You don't have to go through security. You don't have to go through. You just get cleared by the tower, then you're off the tarmac, right? You take your plane to the plane where they store the planes at, wherever that's the
Hangar.
hangar. There it is. Thank you. And then just get in your vehicle that's already in the hangar and just take off. I mean, I don't know if people have ever been to an airport, but they don't lock. There's a fence around the airport, but they always have a section of that fence always open. Oh yeah. And then,
Ours
and then
has a guard
and
there.
then, at night you can it's a key fob thing, but it's just it's interesting how certain people, because they have a lot of money, supposedly have a lot of money, they seem to have the same problems. I wish it was a problem. It would be a problem for me if I didn't have a place to park my G5. I would hate to have, if the tarmac was too full, and if I had to wait 20 minutes to get to my car, at 72 degrees. I would. I don't know how the guys do it, man. They work so hard, and all they want is a glass bowl full of blue M&Ms. And the cab to be at 71.2 degrees precisely. I mean, that's not too much to ask, is it, people?
I don't think so.
I mean, they're only puppets. That's it.
I don't think it's a lot to ask.
No, I don't think so either. I'm being sarcastic right now.
Another one of these things this guy said Diddy was addicted to was liquid crack. Now, back in the day, liquid crack. Now, back in the day, me and my buddy used to call Capri Suns, the squeezable bags.
Yeah.
Straw. We used to call that liquid crack because we can go through a whole case in like 5 minutes. But I don't think when this guy is talking about liquid crack, I think he's talking about something completely different. And what did they find at Diddy's mansion or wherever the hell it was? Whatever the hell it was. What did they find there that was strangely odd in its capacity?
Baby oil.
Lube.
Well, allegedly.
Well, that's the only thing I've ever heard of, an excessive amount.
Okay.
I don't know if there was something else they found.
Why would you keep an excessive amount of lube? I mean, how much are you having sex? What if the lube isn't lube? What if the lube is liquid crack? Would that make more sense to have 1,000 bottles in your house?
1,000 bottles? I mean, okay. How big a bottle are we talking about? Are we talking like a 12-ounce bottle like this? Are we talking about an 8-ounce bottle?
They said they were cases.
Cases.
So retail size.
So about 12, anywhere from 8 to 12 ounces. Okay, of that kind of stuff. But it is a bit weird. Maybe he has a lot of lube wrestling that he likes to do.
That's the first thing I thought. That it was like.
I guess everybody has their fetish, right?
I don't know.
That's not mine, though. Dildos and lube. This was like, lots of dildos, lots of lube.
That's a lot of lube. Okay, here's the second thing about this. What about the connection that they made between Sean Combs Tupac Shakur and Biggie Smalls.
What you mean that
The
that
murder.
the murder, that the fact that P Diddy, the rumor that's been going around since the late '90s, early
Really?
2000s, that P Diddy had those people killed, pulled hits on him, because it's funny, when they both died, all of a sudden his popularity just skyrocketed. I mean, he was fucking everywhere. You couldn't turn on MTV or VHS, or couldn't turn on your local rap radio and not hear any of his music,
You mean
or his compilation, or his whatever. He's a shitty rapper,
you mean like
shitty person.
Senator Hillary Clinton? I wonder how she got her seat.
Oh, supposedly by
Didn't somebody
Jay,
disappear on a
yeah,
magic
somebody went down
carpet
into
ride?
the water.
Yeah, something? Oops,
Yeah.
disappeared.
Junior went down in the water. Is that right?
Right. So
Something like that.
what that tells me is that Biggie and Tupac weren't playing his game.
Tupac was gay. You know that?
No,
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I did not
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
either.
He also, from what I understand, from what I researched, he also went to, he got accepted in Juilliard as a dancer,
Really?
as a ballet dancer.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I watched, and that was the additional information I found, because I thought it was pretty interesting too. And it never meant, and it makes now, I guess as I get older, it makes a lot more sense to know that most of the people that we see on the screen, on the silver screen, are probably gay. Most of them, a
That's,
vast majority of them. You know,
that's crazy.
I mean, we even have Lil Wayne. He came out and he said that he was raped repeatedly as a child, and sold into slavery, and then he sold as into sex slavery by his parents, but, like, you know what I'm saying, by his uncle. And but he also, when he got into the music industry, he also realized that it was the same exact thing. And so he said that Sean Combs also came up to him. It was at a party. Apparently, Sean was intoxicated, but had like a raging boner, and was just rubbing up against Lil Wayne, from one of his stories. So,
Well, didn't Justin Bieber say the same thing?
yeah, Justin Bieber, yeah, he came out, and
About it.
no, they I mean, anybody in the music industry, all right, people, anybody who's really pretty, who's very popular. Now, I'm not quite sure how Taylor Swift is so popular, because she's flat as a board. I've got more wiggle in my ass than she does, and she's a terrible singer. Okay, I'm that's a mystery to me there. So I'm wondering if she's actually a man, and that's the process there. But I neither here nor there. Anyways, but yeah, it seems to be there's a large majority of the males in the music industry have to be gay, especially in the rap industry. I can't really speak about country or the rock and roll, but especially in the rap industry, that's part of look at Lil Nas X. Look at him. You have
Clearly.
there's a lot of other satanic. You have to be gay and be a Satan worshiper, apparently, in order to make any kind of money. So, some of them, you have Jay-Z, who's been putting up, this symbol forever, for as long as he's been rapping. He's been putting up the Illuminati triangle, and if you watch the music videos, the symbolism is all over the music videos, and it's been inundated into our society, everything, everywhere you look. I mean, everywhere.
Witchcraft.
Yeah, it is witchcraft. There is a form of witchcraft going on here, and how it's actually brought about. I'm not sure. I want to know how that level of witchcraft is created, to be honest.
Look at who's that? Machine Gun Kelly, that rapper, and what Megan Fox.
Are they a thing?
They were. I don't know if they still are now. This was a couple of years ago, or whatever, and they wearing vials of blood, each other's blood,
I heard about
around
that.
their necks, saying that they drink each other's blood. Like a drop of each other's blood. Who freaking does that?
Yeah, it's not weird. It's not
No,
weird.
it's not weird at all. It's right up there with that mother who has 3 boys, and she has them jerk off into a jar, and then she makes a facial cream out of it. That's not weird at all.
Talk
Jeez.
about talk about reapplying your own skin cells.
No shit.
That's recycling right there at
Maybe
the
she's onto
epitome.
something.
Smoky Randy goes, all the guys with long hair and the metal bands are really gay. I certainly, man, you know what? In the '80s, with all the big hair and big glam of the rock and roll, you got to wonder about
Maybe
some of those guys. Just a little too happy about putting on teats in their hair and
tight leather pants
and tight leather pants and spandex and jumping around,
doing
and
splits. And,
I mean, wearing makeup and shit. I'm like, man, I was very confused when I was growing up because I was thinking to myself, why are men wearing makeup? I thought that was only for girls. So much to learn. So much to learn.
So much.
I still have so much to learn. Miles to walk.
Let's just take a quick poll in the chats. Real quick. How many of put a number 1 in the chat if you think P. Diddy's gonna have a suicide happen?
I just put my finger up right now.
Just
One.
what?
Yeah,
he's not gonna make
honestly,
it
it makes the most sense to me for him to be killed or to hang him, quote unquote, hang himself with a bed sheet and a sock in his cell room, because you have to remember all of these people that go to his parties, not all of them maybe stayed for the after party or the super weird or the weird off is what he used to call it. Maybe they didn't stick around for that, but they probably stuck around for some shit that they don't want to be associated with. And I think a lot if he speaks, because I honestly, if he survives this, if he actually goes to jail and gets a hearing, and he gets bail and he can actually bail out, I think the most logical conclusion would be that he sang like a canary, and just threw everybody on the bus to save his own ass. But I don't think so. For some reason, I think P. Diddy is going to be a fall guy for this, just like Epstein. Because there's layers of, just like I said, there's systems of control, but there's also layers of corruption and layers to this pedophilia group and a worldwide organization that goes on. So if P. Diddy is lower on the totem pole, what's the big fucking deal? They're if they can get, if what P. Diddy provided to his clients, we'll just put it that way, for his clients, for argument's sake, same way that Ghislaine Maxwell supplied resources for her clients, it's safe to say that he will not be living very long. Because if he sings, because I mean, if I were one of his clients, I'd be like, this motherfucker's gonna be dead. Someone's gonna shoot his ass, shank his motherfucker.
What about all the video they got?
Yeah.
That's the thing too, is that who has backups to this, who has access to the servers, who had access, who was doing the filming, because we heard about Epstein's Island being just inundated and riddled with cameras everywhere, right? Everywhere. So in his same way with his mansion. Well, it's also safe to assume, and he was guilty of human trafficking, was allegedly guilty of human trafficking. And if Sean Hannity, not Sean Hannity, probably Sean Hannity too, but if P. Diddy, if he's sitting there, human trafficking, these and not just human trafficking, he's also trafficking money and drugs and everything else. My question is if his clients can get what he was supplying them, then he no longer has a use for them, and then he will die, and he'll be disposed of. So So this to me, I think is more of a distraction because other avenues of getting human flesh, money, and drugs has already been opened. Those avenues are already still flowing while he's put in jail and everything else. All those ties have already been cut. New clients have been made. New supply chains have already been laid out. That's how these people operate. So there's you have this. It's like the mob. You have these layers of protection that keep the people who the shot callers, the people who are in charge, keeps them isolated. That keeps the operation going because it's easy to replace cronies. It's easy to replace people to do your bidding for you. So that's where that's how I see this going down. Is that he's not going to live. If he does, then if he gets out of jail, he'll be popped, just the way that Tupac was and Biggie Smalls.
Now, oh, by the way, go get yourself some gold bills. I released the scratcher. Because I just got one more question. We'll talk about this, and then we can end the show for tonight. But do you guys think there are going to be politicians implicated in this?
Look at how many people.
Who?
Look at all the ones that resigned already, right after his arrest.
Yeah,
It's
that's
a
one way of looking at it.
funny time to resign.
Who?
I would wonder to who
Politicians.
politicians,
Yeah.
congressmen, senators, mayors,
Well, think about it.
city council members.
Didn't all those 23andMe executives just dip out around the same time too?
Well, the entire staff. Yeah, basically.
Yeah, the entire board.
Yeah, board. I mean.
Yeah, just gone.
I mean, isn't that odd?
Yes, yes, it is. It's very odd.
So-
It's noteworthy. You should keep note of it and take and remember to write it down somewhere for sure.
So how much of a hop is it to a politician?
It's not.
Is there anybody in mind? That
No.
You think?
But I do know that occasionally politicians do disappear, sometimes together in airplanes. And
Yeah.
that's what I
Well,
hear.
remember when Justice Scalise, when he died? Remember how he died under his mysterious circumstances? He was
How he died.
he.
He was
he
found
was
with a pillow in
people-
his face.
If you don't remember, right? But where was he at? He was at a sex ranch.
Yeah.
He was at a legal prostitution in Nevada or New Mexico. Sorry,
Yeah, New Mexico.
New Mexico.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think
A
prostitution is
hunting lodge.
a hunting lodge that just so happened to have prostitutes there. You know, those ladies of the night, they really like to go on their hunting trips to try to get the big game. You know, that's their thing.
Weapon is a pillow.
Yeah, and he was mysteriously found with a pillow over his face. You know, that don't tell me that he suffocated by holding the pillow on his face. I don't think so. He was
coughing.
yeah, he was exactly. He was trying to stop from coughing. That's right. He was being polite toward the other guests about the walls are paper thin, right? And so he was coughing into a pillow, and he accidentally asphyxiated himself. Sure, okay. Oh
Things
my god.
happen.
Things happen. Shit, weirder shit has happened, right? I'm just
Weirder shit has happened. I mean, like
Oh, yeah.
shooting yourself in the chest with a shotgun hanging from a tree
Yeah, that's really weird too.
without
Yeah.
no gun being found.
Yeah, right. 2 shots to the back of the head, and your wallet's still there.
And ruled a suicide, right?
And rule of suicide. Yeah, precisely.
Oh, yeah.
That's how I want to go. You know, I'm just going to do it to myself. You know, double right here, just pow.
You think after the first shot, if it didn't kill you, you wouldn't pull it again.
Well, see, that's why you have to use 2 hands. At
That's
the
right.
same
Yeah,
time.
you got to use the 2 at the same time. So you know, make sure you sneeze and it goes off. You know, at the
Like
same
that.
time.
Shoot!
Wait, right? Oh, there goes the cat.
Damn it. Let me try this again. I don't think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, Jim Bob. I know autopsy. Which there's nothing nothing to see here, people. Nothing to see here. No,
So
I
Diddy
think
goes away,
I
and then
I
all those videos go away too.
yeah.
Just like
That's how Epstein worked.
that's how
Epstein
Epstein,
passed away. Ghislaine Maxwell went to jail. She kept her mouth shut.
right?
She didn't. Scalia, right? Justice Scalia was found dead. Not Scalise. Sorry, Scalia. Yeah, you're right. Thank you, Elvis.
Do you
The
know what I said?
I thought I said Scalia or
I thought you
Scalise.
did too.
I thought I said Scalise, maybe.
Oh, Scalise. Yeah, no,
Scalise. Yeah,
it's Scalia. Yeah,
this is
it
Scalia. Yeah,
sounds the same.
yeah.
We know what you were talking about.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very large man. Very tall. Very
Big
big
guy.
man. Big guy. Very large. Yeah. Smokey Randy. There it is, buddy. But I don't know. This like I said, if it depending on who this touches, what the lawyers find, and that's what I think that's why he's being put on ice right now, is because he's a flight risk. He's a flight risk because there are politicians who are involved. There are important people,
Right.
quote unquote important people, who are involved with this ring, and they're just trying to figure out what to do with him right now. To be honest, same way. I mean, like I said, P Diddy is just one person in a layer and a small. He plays his part in a much larger game that is being played, and if they lose him, it's no big deal because people like P Diddy are replaceable. They are replaceable. So instead of we are the pawns, he may be, I don't know, a rook or something. He may be a bishop.
Very
But
true.
it may not be a right analogy, but all I'm saying is that there are layers of layers of protection from who is making the calls and who is the shot caller versus the street level person.
Your local neighborhood knight.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything else you guys like to add to either story before we kick out of here?
No, I think so.
No. I can't do it no more.
That's fine. It's all up to you, buddy. It's all on you.
Let's
My
eat the
daughter-
cat.
Yeah, my daughter bought me some green tea, kind of like the Just Josie bought me that green tea, that has something in it.
Mm.
It's not working though.
Oh,
It tastes hella good, but it didn't do anything to soothe my throat. So, but it tastes really good. So, with that being said, Warrior, where can we find you for the rest of the week? Doing what?
I'll be around doing stuff the rest of the week. Nothing. Next couple of days, probably nothing too serious. I might play some videos or something. I'm not quite sure, but I'm in the process of revamping everything again because I want to do specific shows that I can dedicate myself to finding the time to putting out good content. Yeah, I got some stuff going on. So the next for sure show is going to be Friday morning. Wait, no, not this Friday morning because I'm taking my neighbor grocery shopping. So it's going to be Friday, probably early afternoon. And I'll do a backyard update, number 12. And then either Friday night or Saturday night, I'm going to do my open dojo. And I'm going to try that again. And hopefully we get some people and start discussing some maybe some asking questions or talking about uncomfortable things, which is fine. We can talk about those and we just talk about them. No hard feelings if we don't come to an agreement on anything. But the reality is that you guys had the gumption to come to the table, to make the effort to have a conversation. That's a big step right there. Just making the effort sometimes. And I understand that, we may be here. Not everybody is here. Okay. Not everybody is at our understanding or mental maturity or whatever it is you want to call it. So it's important to recognize that. It's important to call yourself sometimes. You have to say, okay, maybe I'm doing something wrong if people aren't liking my message. But I'm not going to go back to the new stuff. I'm not going to go back to that realm. I'm past that now, guys. And I'm going to be doing,
Yeah.
stuff that makes people go, makes them think, or matters, or is actually creating something. So,
Cool.
I'm just moving on from there, and then obviously Sunday Disconnect Theater, where everybody is welcome to come in and watch movies for as long as you want. Spaz is there all the time.
All right,
Pete,
Hutch.
I'm sure you come in there. You come in every once in a while.
I do.
And yeah, so I'm looking to expand that a lot on Sundays because people need a place for a few hours where they can watch a couple movies and just forget about shit for a while. That's the whole purpose of Disconnect Theater, is for everybody to come in, despite if you like me or not. Just shut your brain off for a few hours and come watch some movies and listen to some music. So,
Cool.
but that's about it. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Oh, I do have future projects are coming up in the future. I'm redoing the chicken coop, so I'll be filming that. Me making the chicken coop. So it should be fun. There'll be a lot of cool stuff coming up in the future.
All right.
But anyways, Spaz, Pete, appreciate it, guys.
Cool.
Everybody in chat, thank you very much. Love you guys.
Thank you, man.
Be well, and I hope what I gave you paid for a tank of gas out in California.
It was really greatly appreciated.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. I looked at my account and said, I got some extra money here. Let's spread the wealth a little bit. So
I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Very, very
Yeah. When I share when I can. So
thank you, man.
Be on that, guys. Have a good night. Everyone be well, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.
We'll talk to you later.
All right.
Nice,
Be well.
sir.
Bye. And Mr. Spaz,
Yeah, I like that guy.
I like that guy too. He's a good guy.
I think so.
I was there yesterday. Man Story, Metal Monday.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a rare one. Usually Metal Mondays I'm drinking. Last night I wasn't.
Yeah.
It was rare.
I dropped in for a bit, gave you my blue pill, and you can always find Spaz. Was it 9:30?
Somewhere around there, yeah. Yeah, East Coast.
Yeah, 9:30 East Coast time, 6:30 Avocado time. Doing Mandatory Metal Monday, and the rest of the week, we don't find Spaz.
I find you.
Spaz finds us.
I usually find Smokey Randy crying in the
Usually,
corner.
yeah.
Give him a pat on the head and a little hug.
Little hug.
Keep him going.
They're there.
Troll harder, baby. Troll harder.
All right. I will see you on Thursday, my brother.
Oh, yes. I'll see you then, sir. You have a great night.
Thank you so much.
Kiss that wife of yours for me.
I absolutely will. And tell your dad we said hello and we're thinking about him. And hope he comes home soon.
Yeah, me too. Amen.
All right, man.
Peace.
See you later. Now let me thank everybody over on the D-Live, the YouTube, and the X for hanging out. I appreciate you guys. And everybody on the Build, thank you so much. Having a great conversation. I'm sorry, I just can't talk anymore. And thank you for all the tips, the Gold Pill, tax-free tips. I appreciate that very much. I'm going to send you guys, however many people who are left, send you guys over to Severe Anon. In a raid, give Severe Anon some PTP, some love over there. Go over there, give him a red pill. Until I see you again, thank you guys. Have a great rest of your Tuesday night. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.